Morel mushrooms. It's part of our foraging series and our mushroom series. Rebel Canners teaching all kinds of food preservation, especially the old ways. Welcome back, Rebel Canners. Today we're going to talk about morel mushrooms. I have one very special story about morel mushrooms. The best harvesting year I have ever experienced was 1994. My son, my oldest son, I should say, that I gave birth to, was born April 30th on my mother's birthday, which is coming up soon here. Probably you'll see this after that. And when he was a week old, so we're talking the 7th of May, I went out and picked up mushrooms by the brown paper bag, grocery bag full, 3 or 4 at a time. And we had to hike 2 or 3 miles back into the woods to where our picking spot was. And I just strapped that baby on a carrier and I took him back there with me. And my brother and I, we picked mushrooms like we couldn't believe. We were still eating them 3 years later. You can to preserve them. If you're going to freeze them, once you've soaked them in salt water, blot them dry, go ahead and roll them in your flour, put them out on a freezer tray, freeze them separately, and then put them into Ziploc bags and get as much of the air out as you can and freeze them. And they will keep very long, well, 3 years at least that way. So here are some of my morel mushroom hunting tips and some things about morels. Good thing about morels, there are very few lookalikes. The lookalikes don't really look like them, and we'll get into that in this video. I can't tell you where I pick them because, of course, I'd have to kill you if you knew my mushroom spot. That's a mushroom hunter's joke. But I will give you a few of the tips I found in this video. Thank you and have a great day, Rebel Canners. To make sure a morel is a morel, there is only one thing to do. That is to slice them in half and make sure they are hollow all the way up and don't have a cap. Morel mushrooms come in several different colors. There's browns, whites, and blacks, and they all bloom at a different time in this area. These are often misidentified as morels. These are the beefsteak mushrooms. We'll do more on those later, but just wanted to show that as one of the typical ones that come out at the same time. One trick to foraging morels I will give you is they are never found alone. They're always found in multiple groups. You will generally find morel mushrooms where there have been forest fires. So always look in those areas. To prepare, go ahead and cut your mushrooms in half, check them, and remove any bugs, and soak them overnight in lightly salted water, about 1 tablespoon to a pint. You can blot them dry and do an egg wash, or if you prefer, you can just roll them in flour and then just fry them up. Nothing better than a batch of fried morels. Around here, morel mushrooms sell on the street corner for upwards of $50 a pound. Check out this foraging video series I'm doing. If I get enough in the series, I will do one playlist just for mushrooms. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. I have a whole series on edible foods.